You know that classic scene within all the romance movie where the guy takes the girl into a very romantic date, and as they spend the whole day together, they stop at a particular location, and then he gets down on one knee, grabs her hand, takes out a box that has a diamond ring within it, and he says to her, "Would you marry me, and would you wear this diamond ring as a symbol of our love and marriage?" But why is that? Why do we propose with a diamond ring? And why do we see it as love and marriage? Well, that's because of the diamond ring industry. And today, that's what I'll be talking about, the industry. But before that, I want to talk about how the diamonds are formed, the history of diamonds, and the marketing tactics that went in it. Without any further ado, let's get to it. So, how are diamonds formed? Well, according to Cape Town Diamond Museum, diamonds are formed from the upper part of the mantle. In this area, the temperature is very high and there's a lot of pressure there, making it the best area for diamonds to be able to crystallize. As far as scientists know, this is the only place where all diamonds are able to be formed, and this is where all diamonds are from. But of course, this part of Earth, we cannot directly go to it. Well, right now you might be wondering, if we can't go to it, then how do we have them then? Well, according to Eric, who wrote History of Diamonds and Where Diamonds Are From, he says that geologists believe diamonds are brought to us by volcano eruption. Of course, the volcano eruption cannot just be any kind of volcano eruption. It has to be a particular kind, a kind that's able to bring the magma called kimberlite. However, this type of eruption is extremely rare, and the last time it was ever recorded was to happen about 25 million years ago. Well, enough of that now. Let's get to the history. The first sighting of diamonds were in India in around 500 BC by the Dravidian people who lived in southern India. Although they were the first people to actually spot diamonds, they were not the first people to actually write anything about the diamonds. The first people to record about diamonds were the Romans, particularly a man named called Philon the Elder. After this time period, there's not much to be known about it anymore. But then according to Margaret, who wrote Rains and Promises, she wrote that in 1377, the first diamond ring was given to a woman named called Mary by a man called Maximilian as a betrothed gift. And then in 1666, diamonds were worn as a way to show that you have money and that you are very, very rich. Basically the same thing, just to show that you have a lot of wealth. And during this time period, the only place to have a diamond was India. Of course, a few years afterward, Brazil would actually be known to have diamonds too. Not much is to be known after this time period, but then in 1860, diamonds were finally found in South Africa. This caused many Europeans to go over there and to fight over the diamonds, and to fight over who gets the right to own the diamonds mining. But of course, diamonds were no longer valued no more, and no one really cared about the diamonds, so all their efforts were really kind of wasted. And then not much is to be known either during that time period because no one really cared about diamonds anymore. Well then, finally in 1947 is when the diamond industry started to boom again. All because of a man who owned a company called De Beer, with a single phrase called "A diamond is forever." Well, let's get to that part then. So De Beer is the company that's able to make this diamond industry and what we know to be as it is. De Beer was founded in 1888 during the time period where diamonds were not popular anymore, and since the diamonds were not popular anymore, no one really wanted to mine them no more. But however, he himself didn't believe that. So he went around and buy as much as mine as he could from all these people who were trying to sell them, and he got them at a very, very low price. And since he got all of them, almost all of them, he got about 90% of the minings. He got them, and then he started to market them. He tried to market them. Of course, it failed at first. But then he still tried. But then he realized that he was the only person to market it, and he needed someone else's help. So then in 19 something, we're not too sure because it's not really recorded, he finally went to meet a guy who lives in New York by the name of Arshia. And by them together, they finally came up with the idea of a slogan. Well, more like a phrase for the whole entire people to know as a diamond is forever and to associate it with love. Since it was the most simplest way to get people to buy something, if you associate it with an emotion, it's the best way to people. And as they went on it, they went to a bunch of celebrities from Hollywood and they asked them, wear these diamonds, have them in your promotion, have them in your house, have them in everywhere as you could, and promote me and all these diamonds for a particular amount. And of course, these celebrities said yes because they wanted money. As this continued, they finally started to make a lot more money. And since he was the only person who owned all these mining, he had control over everything. But then he didn't want people to know that he was the only one who owned it, so he had to change some of their names, some of the company names that he owns to seem like it was not just a monopoly. And during this time, he was able to bring up to 80% of the diamond rings to more people. And within the whole entire country, people wanted more, and just not the country no more, but the whole entire nation wanted them now. And as this campaign and these advertisements of saying a woman should want a diamond ring, and then everyone wants it, till this day, people still believe in that slogan and that saying, that whole entire phrase. Although it might not have been the best way to actually bring the diamond industry in, but it was the best thing he could do at that time. With this slogan, a diamond is forever and the bigger the better, people love it. The end. I have no idea what I was saying.